the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend in his own time. You must answer. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
All righty then. Welcome everybody. It's Ron Kelly. I'm trying to answer the phone and I just destroyed everything. It's Ron Kelly's show. And it's on blogtalkradio.com, rockellyshow.com. Also on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on X. Got a lot of exciting stuff going on behind the scenes. I'll talk to you about it in just a few minutes. Got some more staff trying to expand the program, make it better, spread it around, and I'm sure you're going to love it. Anyway, it's just about it's a couple minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. It's February 29th, 2024. And, this only comes around every 4 years. So I'm thinking, like, if your birthday is only every 4 years, then, like if you were born on the 29th, if a child is born on the 20th, like today, for example, does that mean that their birthday is not going to come for another 4 years? That there'll only be one in 2028? Will it only be 1 year old? I don't know. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. Patricia is in Florida. I think she's going to chime in. I think she's at the airport right now waiting for her flight. So we'll talk to Patricia in just a few minutes. But anyway, it's Transgender Thursday on the Ron Kelly Show. And a lot of you are wondering, like, what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to get into it. Some of you know that, some of you that pay attention anyway, know that Connecticut was the latest state to pass law. There's 18 states in the United States of America that deny transgenders competing with biological girls. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to get into that during the program. So everybody just stick with me at 5 minutes past the hour. So yeah, a lot going on. Trump is on his way back, and if you're black, you better watch out. But the question is Trump just stupid, or is he really a racist, or he just has no filter, or just feels like he can say anything he wants to say? Because some of the Fox and Friends, Fox and Fools, I like to call them, because they're really stupid, have said that black folks are going to stick with Trump because he's been indicted so many times. Like, so we're like jailbirds, and we get indicted all the time. Oh, okay, I get it. And also, and another one said that Trump, we're going to support Trump because we like sneakers. And Trump came out with the ugliest pair of sneakers ever in the free world. Oh man, just ridiculous. Gold of all things, just ridiculous looking. But you know what? Some people are going to buy them. You may not. They won't sell like Air Force Ones, but some people are going to buy them. So we'll look out for that. Alabama, embryos are considered babies. Now, that's going to be a big deal. Maybe not right now, but it's going to be a big deal, because that means if an embryo is considered a baby, you're not able to have an abortion. So if all the anti-abortion states take this on, it's going to be a problem for women who want to get an abortion. And in the case of rape or incest, the Republicans and the crazy psycho GOP, they don't care. They just don't care. What happens? Anyway, we'll get to all of that in just a few minutes. I know when you saw Transgender Thursday on the Facebook post, a lot of you are like, what the hell? Yeah, it's Transgender Thursday right here on the Ron Kelly Show with Patricia Wilder, who, as I said earlier, is in sunny Florida and she'll be back. As a matter of fact, she's on her way back. She may have a chance to stop in with us while she's waiting for her flight to take off. So we may see Miss Wilder this evening. But in any case, you got me. It's the Ron Kelly, I should say, the Ron Kelly Talk Radio show. 6 minutes past the hour. So Connecticut was the latest state. The good old state of Connecticut was the latest state that banned transgender sports or banned transgender women. Bans transgender women from competing with regular girls. And you see, the first thing that people say, the first thing that people say if you don't like something, for example, the first thing people say is that you're racist or you're anti-Semitic or you are there's some hateful agenda behind what you say. So when you don't like something, the general perception is that you're anti this or anti that, And people know, like me, for example, I grew up, when I was growing up, there was no transgender people. The worst thing that could happen was somebody who would put on a wig and wear a dress, and that was about it. There was no transgender and all this high-tech stuff and this gender reassignment and pronouns and all of this. They didn't have that stuff when I was growing up. So quite naturally, as I grew up, I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? It's not what I'm used to. And it's not to say that just because I'm not used to it means that it can't happen, but it's something that I'm not used to. And so I find a problem with it. But it's not that I'm anti-gay or anti-transgender or it's not that I'm anti anything. It just doesn't appeal to me. I just don't kind of like it. But when you don't like something in this day and age, there's some nefarious reason why you don't like it. Always. So that's the way it is today. There's some kind of something going on that makes you not want to embrace the trans community. Because they talk about transgender girls, and my show is going to be edited. This show is probably going to be edited. But you talk about transgender girls. And first, is that really a girl? See, because nowadays in the United States of America, you can claim to be something. I mean, you can't change your birth certificate. That's out. But you can claim to be a woman, and you're a woman, even if you're a man. I'm a woman. And I've seen clips on TikTok and some of the other social media outlets of people who claim to be one thing, claim to be something that they're not. There was a situation, I don't know if many of you saw it on the TikTok, I believe it was. There was a girl who was on a plane and she was sitting next to another girl, and she got pissed off because the stewardess who was checking the ticket said, hey, there's supposed to be a woman sitting here. Well, there's supposed to be a man sitting here, rather. And the girl, the woman she wasn't even transgender. She was just maybe gay. And she got highly upset because the steward would not address her in the way she wanted to be addressed. And it goes on and on and on. I remember a teacher getting fired because they wouldn't address one of the kids as he when it was really a she, or vice versa. I mean, he eventually got his job back, and I agree he should have got his job back because he doesn't have to address you the way you want to be addressed. As long as he's respectful, he can address you any way he wants. So if you're a he and you're trying to be a she, but you'll never be a she. And this is the thing that I don't understand about the transgender community. And like I said, I'm not against them. You know, I don't dislike them. I don't have a problem with them or anything like that. But that's the issue that I have, because you are what you were born as. You know, you are what you were born as. And this transgender stuff, and I'm claiming to be this and I'm not really that, and all of this type of nonsense. And I'm just not down with the transgender thing. And it's not that I don't like them. It's not that I got something against them. It's just that, you know, I'm a purist. I'm a realist. And when I grew up, there were no transgender people. I mean, there were gays, but they didn't call them gay at the time because we didn't have all of this politically correct stuff going on. So we didn't call them gay like back then. But now now there's transgender, and you can claim to be what you want, and I just have issue. I just take issue with it. You know, it's 11 minutes past the hour. So just because a person doesn't like, even if you don't like a certain ethnic group, does that really mean that you're racist, or you just don't like that group? Because like I said, we have to attach some nefarious reason to all who are against a particular thing that we are for. So we're going to talk about this transgender thing a little bit more when Patricia comes on. Patricia Wilder, my co-host, at about maybe around 7:30, she'll be dropping by. She's waiting for a flight down in sunny Florida. Okay. So yeah, so so there's 18 states out of 50 states. There's still 32 states left that are holding off. There's 18 states, some of them Democratic states, which was kind of a surprise to me. There's 18 states that have banned transgender athletes competing with biological transgender girls, in parentheses, competing with biological girls. You know, I got to tell you that I think that that's right. I don't think that biological girls or transgender girls should be competing against biological girls, because first of all, you're not a girl. Transgender girls are not girls. They are boys. They're not girls. And they're stronger, and they're faster, and they're quicker, and they have every physical advantage you can imagine over a girl. And I don't think that transgender girls, for the lack of a better word, should be competing with biological girls. It's just not fair. And it's not that I'm against gay people, and it's not that I'm against transgender people. I just don't think it's fair that those girls should have to compete against against transgender girls, because the biological girls, they train forever. You know, they're training and they're trying to get these scholarships. They're trying to get scholarships. And you can imagine how many transgender girls or how many biological girls have lost the chance to get a scholarship because a boy beat them in their sport. So this is why they have the WNBA. You know, this is why you have girls softball and stuff like that. You know, there's no professional baseball league for women, but women don't play in Major League Baseball. Men do. Women don't play in National Football League. Men do, because that's what it's built for. And like I said, I don't think that the biological girls should be. I don't think the biological girls should lose their should lose a chance to go to college with a scholarship because a boy beat them in their sport. So a federal appeals court threw out the first case brought by Connecticut. It was 4 cisgender, they call them, cisgender girls. There were 4 of them who brought a case forward, and I think they lost. They appealed it, and the federal appeals court threw out the case. But now they're getting a chance. The girls are getting the Connecticut law is being looked at by. It just happened on the 15th of December. So the Americans, the ACLU has gotten involved, and now the appeals court, the Second U.S. Circuit of Appeals judges found the cisgender runners have standing to sue and have described injuries that qualify for monetary damages. The runners also seek to alter certain athletic records, alleging they were deprived of honors and opportunities at elite track and field events because they say male athletes were permitted to compete against them. I agree 100% that those girls lost an opportunity, biological girls lost an opportunity to win these meets, these matches, and have a and get a scholarship because they were beaten not by other girls, not by born as girls. They were beaten by men, young men, boys who were, like I said, were stronger, quicker, faster, and everything else. So they lost their chances for a scholarship from these boys. I mean, they like to call them transgender girls, but they're not girls because you are what you are on the inside. You still can't have a baby. You still don't have what, and only God can make a, what, that's God's work. Nobody else can do that. I don't care what, you can get the best transitional surgeon in the world. He's not going to be able to repeat God's creation. Not going to do it. So, I'm in agreement with this. We'll see what Patricia says. She'll be on. And, of course, you guys can, you can comment on the Facebook page if you wish. You can comment on the Facebook page what your thoughts are. Okay, so we'll take a quick break. We'll come right back with more of the program. It's the Ron Kelly Show, everybody, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show. .com. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
All right, everybody, we're back. It's the Ron Kelly Show. Planning a trip to Atlantic City, planning a bus ride, planning a wherever you're going, Pennsylvania, Atlantic City, wherever you're going, I got the perfect solution for you. It's Amaker and Porterfield Transportation. Amaker and Porterfield for 44 years. Amaker and Porterfield Transportation has been providing safe and reliable transportation all across the fruited plain, and you can get in touch with them too. It's they're located at 307 Arlington Avenue in Plainfield. That's Union County, Plainfield, New Jersey. And the telephone number is 908-753-6423, 908-753-6423. And you could email them, amica.porterfield@verizon.net, amica.porterfield@verizon.net. One more time, amica.porterfield@verizon.net. Okay. It's 21 minutes past the hour. So is there it's the last day of, we get one extra day this year of the Black History Month. I vehemently disagree with the whole idea of Black History Month, because we didn't just, whatever Black people contributed to this here United States of America, it wasn't just by everything didn't happen just in February. You know, everything didn't just happen in February. So yeah, I disagree with there only being 1 month. And a lot of the companies, they just threw up token little, they didn't really do any serious programming. And they never do. They didn't do any serious programming in regards to Black History Month. They had somebody play Martin Luther King. They had somebody, they found actors to play these people. And if I was an actor, I don't know if I would try to play Dr. Martin Luther King. Because who can play Dr. Martin Luther King? I don't think anybody can. They tried Paul Winfield. They tried so many other people. But I don't think that anybody can play in earnest Dr. Martin Luther King. So yeah, so we have these, like some of the teams on the football field, they end racism and some of these little sayings they have, basketball, the T-shirts and all of this type of stuff. But is that really making a difference? Because, nobody's making a real, even in Black stations, Griot, and some of the other stations are owned by Black folks, even they didn't, they had some warmed over Martin Luther King depiction from 10, 15, 20 years ago. But nobody made a honest effort to big up the contributions of Dr. Martin Luther King. Nobody. A lot of these stations, A&E, and some of these other, stations, they'd have a little vignette about Black History Month, but they never made any serious programming. And then every time they go to somebody, they go to Reverend Al Sharpton. And again, I'm not saying that Reverend Al Sharpton is not a leader. I'm not saying that. Reverend Al Sharpton would never, ever stand on the same stage with Dr. Martin Luther King. Never. You see, is there profit in backwards thinking? Is there profit in keeping people's head, Black folks' head in the sand, which I think is happening right now? The Black folks' heads are in the sand, so to speak, when it comes to the world and how it works. And so, I believe that there's profit in that. There's profit in that because Black folks, I told you about the young lady who approached me one night. It was like 3:00 in the morning. I was on my way to work because I do work. Yeah. Oh, well. And she said, excuse me, can I have $1 for a cup of coffee? I'm like, oh, okay. I said, you know what the hell? God bless me to have $1 to give to somebody. So I gave her $1. And then she looks at me. She looks at the dollar, looks at me and says, That's not enough for a cup of coffee. Making all kinds of faces and stuff. And if I was close enough to her, I would have snatched the dollar back. But she was out of reach by then. And I'm like, this is the attitude. This is the attitude that most black folks, many of us have. That somebody owes us something. Somebody's supposed to take care. And that's not true. That's not true. And there's profit in having us think the way we think. There's profit in that. There's profit in that because when you peruse the media and radio shows and Like It Is used to be hosted by Gil Noble before he died. I think Like It Is still on. The show on PLS, Reverend Al Sharpton, and some of these people, these shows all across the United States of America, and they point fingers. You can mad at me what you want. You can make a comment if you want. They point fingers and they get mad at me because I'm speaking truth. And because you notice, and I listen to a lot of these programs all across the country: Chicago, Dallas, LA, New York. I listen to these shows. I listen to these programs, and there's a profit. There is profit to having black folks, for the most part, think the way they think. There's profit in that. It's profit. Because you notice with these radio shows and some of these, not necessarily TV shows, some of those too, in the radio shows where they always point fingers and blame somebody else for the condition of the black community. It's always somebody else's fault. Now, there are some mechanisms that are put in place to keep black folks down. There are some. But you know what? We saved the money to buy that house. We got ourselves together enough to get that Lexus or that Mercedes, So why can't we get ourselves together enough to counteract this nonsense? Because there's profit in keeping black folks thinking the way they think, where it's somebody else's fault, where I can't get ahead, bank ain't gonna give me no money, and this is the mindset that some people want us to have, to point the finger at the police, and there are bad police. They're police that some of them will frame a person. We got them. There is bad on the other side. There is bad in the white, power structure. There is bad. The corrections, the judges, the DAs, there's bad in that. But, we black folks have some black folks have taken on this defeatist attitude, like, I can't never get ahead. I can't do anything. Thank you, brother. Ronald McCready. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. There are some, there's a profit in that because people are making money. The Reverend Owls of the world are making money. The Jesse Jacksons and some of the, the churches and some of these other, and not all churches, but these people are making money off the defeatist attitude that we have. Because you ever hear somebody, I ain't working for no white man. And then at the end of your working life, when you go to apply for Social Security, they're going to give you $300,000 a month. Why? Because you didn't contribute nothing to Social Security, because you stayed on that I ain't working for no white man nonsense, and now you ain't got crap. And there's profit in that. These books that people are writing, these shows that perpetrate that we You never get a loan. The white man ain't gonna do nothing for me. I'll never get a bank account. I'll never get a loan from a bank. I'll never get this. I'll never get that. And there's profit in that. People are making money off of that. They're making money off the defeatist attitude that black folks have. So when they go on the radio or they go on television, they start up talking about the opposition. How the white man didn't do this. How the white man didn't do that. Where's our 40 acres and a mule? You ain't getting no 40 acres and a mule. That's over. Because if he was getting it, you would have got it by now. That's over. So there isn't going to be any 40 acres and a mule. There's not going to be no 40 acres, and you're damn sure ain't. What you going to do with a mule, especially these days, unless you got some land to plow or whatever. But there's profit in that. People make money off of keeping us in this defeatist state of mind. They sell books. They got listeners on their radio. They got people who are watching their shows. They got people who they're blogging with, people they're TikToking and Facebooking, and people accept this stuff because the mindset of the black community right now is, I'm never going to get nothing. And not all, but some. I'm never going to get this. I'm never going to get that. I'm never going to get a loan to start a business. I'm never going to get a mortgage to buy a house. And Ron McCready says that's the truth. No 40 acres and a mule. That's right. There ain't going to be no 40 acres and no mule. Forget that. There ain't going to be no 40 acres. And sure ain't going to be no mule. And I doubt, and it's not that I don't want it to happen, but I doubt if there's going to be reparations. Now, I know they have done some things. I believe somewhere in Michigan, they did a reparations. Let me see. They did reparations in one little town. There are some towns, some states that have who have tried to make some kind of reparation to folks. There are very little movement, nothing on a national scale, very little movement in regards to that. Very little movement. So there is profit in that. There is people who profit off of us thinking that we're never going to get anywhere. There's profit in that. And there's people who are making money off of that mindset. Because they go on the radio and, we'll never get nothing. They go on TV and millions of black folks agree with this stuff. And they roll with it. They roll with it. All right, everybody, it's 34 minutes before the hour. I expected to hear from Patricia by now. I wonder what happened to her. Anyway, she's at the airport. She was in, where did she say she was? I know she's somewhere in Florida. And I thought maybe that she would stop in for a second to holler at us. But I'm not sure what happened to her. Maybe she's on the plane. But anyway, it's 34 minutes past the hour. So yeah, there is some profit in keeping us in the dark, so to speak, where we don't even try to do better because we've already been told that we're never going to do better. That we got to fight the system, fight the power. It's unbelievable. Anyway, it's the Ron Kelly Show. It's on Facebook, LinkedIn, It's on YouTube, the Ron Kelly Show YouTube channel, and it's on X as well. And soon to be on blogtalkradio.com. It's the RonKellyShow.com. So we'll take a break. No, we won't take a break. We'll take a break in a couple of minutes. Shout out to Ronald McCready for listening. Thank you, brother. Some nights he'll only be Ronald McCready on Facebook anyway. Ronald McCready says we've been fighting the system since we got here. Yeah, but see, it's been battered into our head that the system is the problem. Nobody talks about the murder rate in the black community. Nobody talks about the fact that, you know, as a black person, you're just as likely to get jumped as any other ethnic group. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about, you know, when you go to certain neighborhoods, you know who lives there. When you go to the Hispanic community, you know who lives there. You don't have to see anybody, but you know who lives there. When you go to the Asian community, you know who lives there. And when you go to the black community, you know who lives there because the neighborhood is all jacked up. The neighborhood is all jacked up. So you know where black people live. And you don't have to see nobody, but you know there's a lot of condemned buildings, dirt, filth, condemnation, you know, dilapidated properties and stuff like that. So most people know, like, this must be the black neighborhood because everything is all jacked up. And that's the situation with us. When you come in the black community, what do you see? Everything is jacked up. When you go to the Asian community, you know, because most of the businesses have signage. And like you go to Palisades Park, New Jersey, for example, most of the buildings, the businesses have signage in their own language. When you go to the Hispanic community, you see a lot of just, you know, the Spanish bakeries, the Spanish restaurants, you know, and you know because the names of those businesses are Spanish or you know, or Latino in nature. So you know where you're at. When you go to the black community, you don't see no black businesses. All you see is destruction when you go in the black community. And that's how you know that you're in the black community, when you see all this destruction. Now, is that across the board? No, because there are some black neighborhoods where the folks live well. But see, but that's the thing. It's an income gap between the haves and the have-nots. So the black folks that have don't want to live around the black folks that don't have. They want to move somewhere else. They don't want to live around them. So when black folks make it, what do? They move. They like, I'm not staying around here with these Negroes, you know, breaking into my car and all that, you know, that breaking into my house. I'm not staying here. So black folks, when they make it, what do? They move. Because they don't even want to be around their fellow man or their fellow ethnic group person. They don't even want to be around them. I know I don't want to be around them either. I don't want to be nowhere where it's all jacked up and everything is destroyed and abandoned buildings and dirt and filth and broken glass everywhere. People on the stage, you know, they just don't care. I don't want to be around that. But it's the difference between the middle class and the poor, like Ronald McCready says. That's the difference between the middle class blacks and the poor blacks. And when the middle class blacks get somewhere, they want to live in University Heights. They don't want to live on Springfield Avenue. They move to University Heights where they have 24-hour security, riding around all the time, making sure everything is good. They don't want to live on South Orange Avenue. They want to live in University Heights, downtown Newark, for example, near the Justice Center and near where the Passaic County Essex County Sheriff's. That's where they want to live. So middle class blacks, when black folks make it to the middle class, they bounce. They don't have nothing to do with no black folks from 18th Avenue or Bergen Street. I don't think so. Anyway, everybody, we'll take a break and we'll come back with more. It's the Ron Kelly Show. And it's on blogtalkradio.com and RonKellyShow.com. Look at me, all over whatever town that was. I don't think it was New York. Didn't look like New York to me. But anyway, everybody, welcome back. It's Ron Kelly Show. It's 18 minutes before the hour. It's Ron Kelly Show, and it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, it's on YouTube, and it's on X. So yeah, Ronald McCready, because we're from New Jersey. Those of you who are listening to the Ron Kelly Show across the United States of America, the show airs from New Jersey. Ronald McCready says they want to live in Somerset and Morristown. Yeah, because the first chance I had to move, when I used to live in Paterson, New Jersey, the depressed city, so-called depressed city. And when I had a chance to move, I moved to Montclair, where it was mostly white folks and not a lot of crime. Montclair, New Jersey, high income. Not that my income is so high, but it was high enough for me to live in Montclair. Because that's it. Black, and people are like, oh, well, you get a little money or whatever, you leave. No, it's not that. But who wants to come out every day and their back window is, their back window, passenger side back window is broken and somebody done ruffled through your stuff. Nobody wants. You gotta keep your head on a swivel every time you come out. Especially if you work in the middle of the night like I do, your head got to stay on the swivel. And I will work in Newark, but your head's got to stay on the swivel because you don't know what's coming. Now, it's not to say that none of those towns have issues, because they do, but not as many as you're going to find in Compton or East LA, Chicago, St. Louis, Miami, Dallas, some of these towns. Gary, Indiana, which at one time had the worst crime ratio to ratio of individuals in America. Gary, Indiana, the birthplace of the Jackson 5. And they had issues. So you can't blame a person for wanting to leave. You can't blame a person for wanting to leave these towns. But back to I don't agree. I do agree that transgender girls, and they're not girls, transgenders should not be allowed to compete against biological girls, or cisgender girls, they call them, CIS gender. And I don't think they should be allowed to compete, because they're boys. I don't give a damn if they're taking hormones or estrogen or whatever. They're still boys. They still got boy muscles. They still got boy insides, you know. And a transgender boy, is going to beat a girl every time, a biological girl. So I agree with those 18 states. There's 18 states in the United States of America that have banned transgender athletes from competing with biological. Now, if they want if they want to compete with the boys, that's all well and good because they're boys, and the boys who don't want to be girls are boys, and they can go ahead and get it on. But for the ones who don't, for the transgender, for the cisgender girls or the biological girls, you know, it's not fair. It's not that I don't like them or anything like that. Oh, you just don't. No, it's not that. It's just, it's not fair. That's the problem. It's just not fair, you know. So it's not fair. Anyway, everybody, it's 14 minutes before the hour. Thank you, Ronald McCready, for checking in with me here on the Ron Kelly Show, and some of the other folks who I really can't contact on some of the other folks that are on some of the other social media venues. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Ron Kelly Show. I guess we missed Patricia because it's 13 minutes before the hour and she still hasn't arrived. And she didn't make any promises, and I didn't really expect her to be here. So it's all good, Patricia, if you're listening and you can't get through. Because I don't know what time her flight left or anything, but anyway, it's 13 minutes before the hour. So Alabama wants to designate an embryo as a baby. And I really wanted Patricia, as a mother, I wanted Patricia to be here so she can comment on this. Her comments would have been very important to the show, but she's not here, obviously. Okay, have you tried Tasha's Caribbean Soul Restaurant? I did, and I thought it was great. Tasha's Caribbean Soul Restaurant, Dodge Street in Orange, New Jersey. If you order online and you posted coupon code, order online and use the coupon code POSTC22. That's POSTC22, and you get $5 off your order. Order online for pickup and use this coupon code POSTC22. That's POSTC22, and you'll get $5 off your order at Tasha's Caribbean and Soul Restaurant on Dodge Street in the great city of Orange, New Jersey. All right, it's 12 minutes before the hour. So yeah. Thank you, Ronald McCready. Thank you, brother. So we got a lot going on behind the scenes here. I've hired a social media manager. She's going to be posting and controlling the social media. Does a lot better job than I do, and marketing the show. So we expect a big bounce in our audience coming up soon. So you just wait. Because I know people get busy and stuff, and especially on Facebook, folks get busy and yada yada. Anyway, it's 10 minutes before I break out of here. So I'm gonna be branded a hater of transgender people. Watch, the dirty emails are gonna be coming. I am a horrible person because I don't agree with the transgender stuff. In any case, the views and opinions expressed here are exclusively those of myself and R. Kelly Media Enterprises, LLC, and are not those of my advertisers or my support team here on the Ron Kelly Radio Show. Just to let you know that to let you know that I take responsibility for my comments. They don't go to anybody else. So 100 Palestinians were killed today, and Israel is just on a killing spree. According to estimates, 30,000. This is not just the Palestinian Health Authority, because don't trust them. No, this is from Red Cross. This is from some of these other organizations, USAID, UHNCR, some of these other groups. There's been 30,000 Palestinians killed. 30,000 Palestinians killed by the Israelis. So right. They have the mindset. Yeah, they have somewhat of a mindset of a woman, but they have the strength of a man. That's right. Going back to the transgender girls. And they're not girls. They're not girls. But we have to say they're girls because it's the politically correct thing to do. Well, you see, I'm not politically correct. But if I had a multi-million-dollar contract, I might call them girls too. So I don't get fired. But the people who, and in most cases, the people who are calling them girls are doing it because their back is to the wall, so to speak. Because they work for this company, they work for this media outlet, and they're obligated to toe the line. Whatever your media company says goes. So they have to toe the line, so to speak. You know, don't you know? 8 minutes before the hour. So yeah. They have the mindset of a woman. And I don't even, you know what? And I know what you're trying to say, Ronald McCready. I know what you're trying to say about the mindset of a woman. But only a woman can have a mindset of a woman. But I agree with you. They have the mindset, like they're thinking of themselves as women. They're thinking of themselves as women, but they're not women. You can say what you want to say. They're not women. You know, because only a woman can have a vagina. Now you can go get some breastises. They can give you some shots, or you can get implants or whatever as a man, and you can look like a woman because a lot of them do. A lot of them look just like women. A lot of those transgender folks look just like women. You see, because in some cases they look better than women, than biological women, and that's because they are laser focused on looking like a woman. So all the other things that women, regular women, biological women don't pay attention to, the transgender individual does. So in a lot of cases, they look better than, in some cases, they look better than the biological woman because they check on everything, you know, the eyes, the lips, the nose, the makeup is perfect, the hair. I mean, because they trying so hard to look like women that they don't want there to be any doubt that they're women. So they focus more on looking like a woman. You see, they can't have babies. That's right. They cannot have babies. You know, they don't have a vagina. Now, a doctor, and that's not the most important thing, but a doctor I just don't believe it. Because they say that the doctor can fashion a vagina out of a penis, but I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. But yeah, it's crazy. But this is America today. We have to conform. Look what happened with the Me Too movement. how some people who weren't really, I mean, I'm not talking about Harvey Weinstein or you know, or Jeffrey, the man who killed himself in the jail. But now we got the Me Too movement. You can't even say good morning to a woman no more. So we got the transgender thing going on, where in some cases people are forced to acknowledge them as women because they don't want to be they want to go along with everything. It's like the Trump supporters. The person next door supports Trump. I'm going to support Trump too, even though I don't, but I'm following behind somebody else. So this is the thing. They follow behind each other. Anyway, it's about 3.5 minutes before the hour of 8 o'clock. It's Thursday night. It's about time to live for the weekend, everybody. I don't have anything planned, but so I hopefully something will come along. Because I'm not a winter person. I'm not a winter person. I don't like to, I'm not one for going out. I mean, yeah, it depends on what the situation is. I mean, yeah, I have to go out. I agree with that. I have to go out, but I'm not one for winter outdoor activities. But I can get in my car. I can put on a coat. I can walk to my car and I can go somewhere. Sure. The weather doesn't stop me from going anywhere unless it's really bad weather, like a snowstorm or something like we had recently. And it's not that I don't think that, that I know how to drive. It's not like I don't think that I'm afraid that I'm going to crash. I'm afraid somebody else is going to crash into me, Yeah. So I don't drive in bad weather because of other people, not because of me. It's because of them. That's why I don't do it. Anyway, there's 2 minutes left to the program, so I want to thank those who checked in with me. Ronald McCready, thank you, brother. I didn't see anybody else from Facebook, but that's okay. I mean, I guess maybe they know transgender people. They might be transgender supporters. I don't know. But we will, despite that, we will see you guys back here for another edition of the Ron Kelly Show next week. Oh, so until then, like everybody, I'd like to say that it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And that we may not be able to have it all together, but together we can have it all. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We'll see you back here with Patricia Wilder next Thursday night at 7 p.m. for another edition of the Ron Kelly Show. And I'm working on with something where you can call into the program. I'm working on a system where you can call in to the program. I mean, you can still message me on Facebook, but you'll have an option of calling in to the program. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you back here next week. I'd like to say that it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And we may not have it all together, but together we can certainly have it all. Thank you so much, everybody, and I think I'm finished.